Everyone's writing about it. New York Times is writing about it. Reuters is writing about it. We're seeing headlines and people very upset because Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, has done something unforgivable.
Oh, no.
So in their official diplomatic writings, they are no longer allowed to use Calibri, the font, which is what Antony Blinken put in place. They have to revert back to what it had been pretty much forever before Antony Blinken moved to Calibri to Times New Roman. And I want to read you some of the outrage from these newspapers.
We're talking about this is a font gate going on here.
This is font gate. They are having to go back to the font they used. This is the New York Times headline. At the State Department, a typeface falls victim in the war against woke. They lead off this article with Secretary Rubio waded into the surprisingly fraught politics of typefaces on Tuesday with an order halting the State Department's official use of Calibri. We have Reuters saying Rubio stages a font coup. Times New Roman ousts Calibri. We have the former head of the White House bureau chief for Voice of America.
Okay.
We don't have that. It doesn't really do anything anymore. But Voice of America's former White House bureau chief, he posted on X that Secretary of State Rubio has concluded Calibri is a DEI font and orders U.S. diplomats to revert to Times New Roman in official communications. Then, followed up 10 minutes later with this nugget. The Nazis in 1941 banned the Fraktur font because it was, quote, too Jewish. This is Trump derangement syndrome at its finest. So, they are writing articles about a reverting back to a font because the Secretary of State thinks it's more formal.
Why did Secretary Rubio decide even to weigh in? And like, why are we even discussing this? I don't even feel like this should be on their table. It should never make it to their desk. There shouldn't be a discussion. I feel like that's one part that's weird to me about this, and Blinken changing it as well, which is we got some real stuff to deal with. Why are we dealing with font changes here? I feel like someone maybe just in the design side of this could make that call, and we wouldn't have to have the Secretary of State saying, you know what we need? Well, we need to make these big changes. Now, I looked at both fonts, compared them. Look, I'm a fontman. I've spent a lot of time with fonts. My son and members of our family, we spend a lot of time looking at different fonts. We got members of our family with severe dyslexia. There are fonts that are better for people like that who have issues. So I understand that. Calibri is kind of on the edge of it. It's not one of the official. So to me, I'm like, go all the way.
Right.
Go full. There are fonts that everyone can read. People with severe dyslexia can read. Why don't we go that far? I'm fine with that. You know, it's this weird. Honestly, I just feel like it is such a waste of time in general. The fact that we even have this discussion, the fact that they're wasting, I was going to say wasting paper. Of course, no one's really printing, but wasting even the mental capacity to create these articles. It's absolutely absurd. And of course, now they have to blame it on somehow it being some sort of right-wing, alt-right propaganda machine doing something just like, like I said, 10 minutes later.
Take it to Nazi.
They got to take it to Nazi.
But also, one of our producers, Will, said, who knew the serif wars would outdo the tariff wars this holiday season? I like that. Read it for you guys. Everyone heard it here first.
Serif v. tariff.
There you go.
Man, I don't know. See, I probably am again taking a view. People are like, no, we should be standing up for Times New Roman. I don't really care about Times New Roman. I actually care about the fact that if you want to go far with it. Make it the most easy to read. We all know if it's a person without sort of reading difficulties, Helvetica, the easiest.
Well, also,
proven.
This was on like very near the top on the New York Times website.
Yeah.
When Antony Blinken changed it, no one ever heard about this.
I don't even think it was
it's only so they can go after conservatives, bash the Trump administration, say that they're ridiculous, and make a random Nazi comparison that I'm sure they had to use ChatGPT to find.
I'm looking at the New York Times website. They can definitely make that font a little easier to read.
They have their own proprietary imperial font.
And it is real smushed.
Yes.
It's too smushed, really.